house of prayer.
Lord, make me
Hi, ladies. It's that time of the year again. And
make me a house of prayer. Lord, make me a house. Make me a house of prayer. A house of prayer, Lord.
May the fire on my altar never burn out. The fire on my altar never burn out. May the fire on my altar never burn out. Make me a house of prayer.
May the fire on my altar never burn out. The fire on my altar never burn out. May the fire on my altar never burn out. Make me a house of prayer. Lord, make me a house. Make me a house of prayer.
I wanna seek your face, oh Lord.
Make me a house.
Oh,
Make me a house of prayer.
a house of prayer. May the fire on my altar never burn out. The fire on my altar never burn out. May the fire on my altar never burn out. Make me a house of prayer. May the fire on my altar never burn out. The fire on my altar never burn out. May the fire on my altar never burn out. Make me a house of prayer. We say, Lord,
Make me a house.
oh, make me a house of prayer. I wanna seek your face, oh Lord. Make me a house, make me a house of prayer, a house of prayer. May the fire on my altar never burn out. The fire on my altar never burn out. May the fire on my altar never burn out. Make me a house of prayer. May the fire on my altar never burn out. The fire on my altar never burn out. May the fire on my altar never burn out. Make me a house of prayer. We pray, Lord, make me a house. Make me a house of prayer. I wanna seek your face, oh Lord.
Make me a house. Make me a house of prayer.
A house of prayer. May the fire on my altar never burn out. The fire on my altar never burn out. So may the fire on my altar never burn out. Make me a house of prayer. May the fire on my altar never burn out. The fire on my altar never burn out. May the fire on my altar never burn out. Make me a house of prayer. We say, Lord, make me a house. Make me a house of prayer. Lord, I want to seek your face, oh Lord. Make me a house. Make me a house of prayer. A house of prayer. May the fire on my altar never burn out.
well, good morning, everyone. And we do not have the rights to that song. So let me say that. We have the right to Brandon Robeson's version. So that's for YouTube and Facebook and everyone, so they don't flag us. We want to say good morning. And guess what? I guess you guys can tell by the production of our broadcast this morning, but even having worship music, that Ashton is back. We're going to do a live with Ashton because he, as well as his father and his family, went through a severe case of COVID-19. I don't even know if they call it COVID-19, the strand of COVID that's in South Africa. Extremely contagious, extremely lethal, very lethal. So he pulled through, Man, it looked like it was going to be at the point of death, but he made it through. So everybody say, welcome back, Ashton. Show him some love this morning. And at the same time, let's show some love for Brandy, who held things down in Brandon and Ashton's absence to just be able to keep us definitely somewhat before the face of the people. Well, I'm coming to you from our Teen Pregnancy Center here in Atlanta, where I am right now, is the studio that we use here. That's going to be a portion of it transformed to a library for the mothers, and a little reading area. I wish I could show you, but they can sit and read books. And I guess one of the books they're going to be reading to their babies, even from the little babies. I'm glad God made me a girl, and I'm glad God made me a boy. So we want you to keep getting those books pushed out, because most of you know by now there has been a very strong, I can't say strong enough, push and advocacy and push on. I got to watch what I say, because, they're censoring everything, but a particular lifestyle that could confuse children concerning gender. Let's just say that. Got to be very wise, because, they shut me down on Periscope, 20,000 followers, because I was exposing pedophilia. So we're going to be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. We're just simply not hating anyone. We're not hating anyone. We're not against anyone. We're just celebrating what we believed, how God made us. And we felt like we are the ones that have the authority to talk to our children about sex and sexuality and gender, and not the government, and not someone else's views. We want to give our children a biblical view of sex and sexuality from a biblical view. So that's right to believe that as parents. So good morning. I want everyone to understand, first coming on, you guys should know the rules by now. Share all throughout the day. Share. Do you realize that whoever dominates media, you see that, don't we? We walk by faith and not by sight. I think Terry gave me this cup. Terry Brandy won. Terry says she did. I think Terry gave me that cup. But whoever dominates media dominates the minds of people. I've been saying that since last year, and we're seeing it more and more, and we see it, throughout, especially the election year. Everybody was pushing to be in media and to cover so that they can get their view and their point across. So if we continue to stay lazy about sharing, commenting, liking these broadcasts, which I'm getting up early in the morning to do, to give you facts. Like today, I'm going to give you facts. I'm going to give you statistics that are indisputable. These are not my opinions. These are facts, so that we can paint a picture of what's really going on and know what we're really facing, so we can be an informed intercessor. I was just sharing with my team this morning, sometimes we have believers that say, I think you're getting too political. The church should just be the church and let the government be the government, and we shouldn't get involved. Our message today is the dominion mandate. Interesting. Before there was ever a political party, before there was ever Republicans, Democrats, and independents, before there were communist regime government ruled, and military regime government, or before there were monarchies, before there was any of that, in the book of Genesis, there was a dominion mandate given to us. Given to us to rule the earth, to govern the earth. And I think it's so interesting when people say, you're getting too political. Have you read the book of Revelations? Do you read past Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John? Did you not read in, is it 1st or 2nd Corinthians, when Paul said 6 verse 2, did you not know that the saints shall rule and govern the earth? Did you read Revelation says we shall be made to rule and reign with him? Did you know that in Revelation 19 and 20, we come back riding with him on a white horse to govern nations? Whoo, the whole millennial reign. Who you think is going to be governing nations with him? Christ, us with him. So if we're not going to get involved in the issues and the affairs, remember with Daniel in the Bible, in the book of Daniel, rather, with Nebuchadnezzar, when he was stuck on stupid for 7 years, the first thing Nebuchadnezzar said when he came back to himself, when he was in his right mind, I now know that this God deals in the affairs of men. The affairs of men are the affairs, politics, policies, and all of these things deal with the affairs of men. So the enemy wants us to keep silent. He doesn't want us to lift up the bloodstained banner of Jesus Christ. He doesn't want us to proclaim righteousness and justice, and that God is still a holy God, and that we can live our life mirroring the principles of the Bible and teach those as our biblical truth, the rights of our biblical truths to our children and to our children's children. So the dominion mandate says in Genesis 1:26 through 29. I don't know what Brandy put in this hibiscus tea and ginger this morning, but boy, it's got me going. Maybe she knows something we don't know, guys. And on that note, we do our Beach City Kitchen cooking show to teach immune building recipes with a lot of antioxidants that can help build up your immune system, and that tastes good, and that they're, I thought it was 15 minutes, and Brandy was telling me I didn't realize she was saying I didn't know. My 15-minute Beach City menu, a meal yesterday, was actually less than 11 minutes from start to finish. So we're going to show you how to make it quick, how to make it inexpensive, and yet be very healthy for your family. So make sure you guys share that information out, because we want to keep people healthy and strong, and give our immune system everything it needs to fight up against the things we're fighting up against. But none of that's any good if you guys don't go there and share, like, comment, and it gets the word out to people. This is our way of doing ministry. It's called digital evangelism, Then when it comes to the things we're teaching now to transform a mindset and to combat or to dismantle or to dethrone the schemes and plots of the enemy, just as Esther dethroned, dismantled the plot and the scheme of Haman to commit ethnic cleansing and genocide against the people of God, against the people of Israel. And God gave her a strategy to dismantle and to dethrone Haman's plan, and it worked. Just as God showed Deborah a strategy to dismantle the plan and the scheme of the enemy against God's people, just as God showed David a plan, a strategy, and a scheme against Goliath, who at that time the Philistines were oppressing, and they were in captivity, or just would have, and were being challenged to be put in captivity among the Philistines. Just as God showed Joseph, just as God showed Daniel, and God showed many strategies that the enemy was endeavoring to push his agenda that was against God. God showed a strategy and agenda that God's way could be exalted. So even today in this time, we're not on a political party side. We are simply saying that we lift up the Bible, we lift up the word of God, we lift up what God has told us in his word that we are to do as believers, and the things that we see that are being propagated, things that are being taught in our school systems, the things that are being endeavoring to be taught to our children, the things that we see on television, and the things that are being modeled as a norm. We say that we don't hate anyone. We don't hate anyone. We love everyone. We just believe we have a right to celebrate what we believe, just like everybody else has a right to celebrate what they believe. And so not only are we celebrating what we believe, but we have strategies. And so one of our strategies is, I am going to teach, I am going to expose, I'm going to give statistics to how we got to where we are in the frame of thinking, our frame of thinking. What got us to this particular frame of thinking? What was the scheme? What was the plot? We didn't just happen to start thinking like this. We've been hoodwinked. I'm going to expose the big lie. The big lie is we've been hoodwinked into thinking in a particular paradigm. The enemy wanted to lean us, our thinking, in a particular, bend it in a particular direction. And I'm here to tell you where it came from, how it started, expose the big lie, and to remind you that you have a dominion mandate that was given to you by Almighty God, and nobody's opinion and nobody's legislated laws and nobody's whatever group has the power to dethrone or dismantle the plan that God gave you, the mandate. Listen to what God gave you in the dominion mandate. Whatever you determine to be unlawful and unacceptable on earth has already been backed and unlawful and unacceptable in heaven. What you bind on earth will be bound in heaven. What you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven. The Amplified Version says you determined it to be unacceptable, unlawful. So I say it's unacceptable for you to teach my child this in this bent direction. It's unlawful for you to corrupt the innocence of my child, to begin to talk to my child about sexuality and things when I want the right to talk to my child about those things based on the views that we believe in this household as our Constitution. You have a dominion mandate given to you by Almighty God that says, the heavens of heavens, Psalm 115, here's your dominion mandate. Psalm 115, the heavens of heavens belong to God, but the earth, the earth, the earth he has given to the sons of men. That's you, that's me. And he tells us we are the salt of the earth. We're not the salt of the church. We're the salt of the earth. We're the light to the world. We're not the light to the church. So we let our light shine. We live out our conviction. We live out our faith. We love everyone. We couple it with the love of God. We love everyone. And we stand strong to our faith, our dominion mandate, that let his will be done in the book of Matthew on earth, even as it is in heaven. That's our dominion mandate that God gave us before there was ever any political party. So that's our dominion mandate. Now here's the big lie. Now that we know that we have that dominion mandate and we have a right to stand and we have a right to, it is not only a right, but it's our responsibility. God holds us responsible. He says that if you don't warn a person of their way, the transgression of their way, their blood will I require of you. So God has given us to be the ones that will lead the way and light the path and let our light so shine amongst men that they will see our good works and our modeled lifestyle. Guys, Sister Tyson passed on yesterday, and what a legend. She lived a clean life. She lived a life above reproach. I can't even say I know that much about what her faith was, but she lived a clean life above reproach without scandal. And it's amazing, 96 years old. The legends who live a good, moral, clean life live a long time. So salute to her. But I was saying how with her life, she influenced so many people by the way she lived, just by her life. That's what God wants in this hour. This generation, I keep saying, it's not a generation that's going to be moved by so much preaching, talking, teaching. I'm not saying that we're getting rid of any of that, but it can't be rested on just teaching only, preaching only, proclaiming only. It must be coupled with a demonstration, which is why on Sunday, we're going to be at City Hall in Atlanta, Georgia. Terry, I hope you get that post out today. At City Hall. Join me at City Hall at 10:30. We're not protesting at City Hall. We don't have banners and posters at City Hall. We're not marching about a political party at City Hall. Guess what we're doing at City Hall? Being the change we want to see, being the light, letting our light shine, feeding the hungry, clothing the hungry, giving them a message of hope. I'll be preaching in front of the City Hall on Sunday. You don't want to miss it. Any family members or friends you have in the Atlanta, Georgia area, get them. Come and meet me. I think it's 68 Mitchell Street, isn't it, Brandy? 68 Mitchell Street, Atlanta, Georgia, or just, nowadays just Google the address for City Hall, but 68 Mitchell Street. And we will be right there, not proclaiming only, but coupling our gospel, showing our gospel in demonstration, and use words only when we have to. So this generation is not a generation that you can just preach to. You can't just say this, you've got to model it. So because that's our dominion mandate, and this is what God expects us to do, let's unfold and unpack the lies of the enemy that has gotten us into this way of thinking. So let me see, which way do I go first? Let's go here first. First, there are three categories or three mindsets of thinking, and I'm going to unpack one today, and I'll go on into I may hop on tomorrow morning and unpack one tomorrow, and I'll see, will I have time on Sunday? I may not have time Sunday, but if not, I'll get you on Monday. Okay, the three common ways of thinking for most people. What will overturn Roe versus Wade? And in order to stop abortion, we must overturn Roe versus Wade. Well, let's back the train up. Why is there a challenge and a need for abortion? Let's go back to pregnancies, not just teen pregnancies. Let's say unwanted pregnancies, unplanned pregnancies, as they say. So if we're going to go back to unwanted pregnancies and unplanned pregnancies, okay, that means we got to really go back to what's happening before they get pregnant. So let's talk about and think about value systems. But the common thought is that if we get a certain political president of a certain political persuasion on the right or on the left or whatever, then we can get Roe versus Wade overturned. And the common thinking is if you get a Republican president, we're going to get somebody up there that's going to overturn Roe versus Wade. And then all of a sudden people are going to wake up in the morning and not want to have an abortion anymore. As if we got Roe versus Wade overturned, that people would not try to go somewhere and get them illegally. So let's think about the Bible way of doing things. God never said there is no darkness, there is no darkness, there is no darkness, there is no darkness. But instead, God said, let there be light. So God dealt with truth. He didn't even deal with the negative. Let's deal with the truth. He didn't even deal with the darkness. He dealt with the truth. He called light into being. He called truth into being. So instead of protesting, overturn Roe versus Wade, overturn Roe versus Wade. So let me show you what's happened over the period of time as we have endeavored to focus on overturning Roe versus Wade since 1973. Instead of overturning Roe versus Wade, you cannot legislate the heart of a person. You cannot constitutionalize the heart of a person. So instead of trying to overturn Roe versus Wade, let's proclaim truth. Let's demonstrate love. Let's push up our sleeves and be disciples to people. Let's be Titus 2 women. Let's be mothers in Zion. Let's be our sister and our brother's keeper. Let's become community based on Acts 4 verse 32. That they sold all things common and placed their monies at the feet of the apostles, and they did apostolic distribution so that Acts 4:32, none suffered lack. Where is the sense of community and family and being your brother's keeper and caring for your neighbor's child? Let's get more involved and listen to what they're saying, and let's get more involved with what are they feeding off of? What are they listening to? Be they young, because all pregnancies are not teen pregnancies. What happens in the mind of a woman that has an unwanted pregnancy? Instead of bashing, and I gave this example, I want you to think with me this morning. It's going to make you really think. I got to wrap this up real quick, guys. I need you to really think. There's Planned Parenthoods everywhere, especially in the brown and Black communities. They're everywhere. And then I'm going to tell you how much money they're getting. So people are getting this kind of money. They're not going to just overnight say they're not planning to go anywhere. So what we need to do is be strengthened from within. So here we go. There are churches on every corner in the inner city. Just think with me. Put your thinking cap on. Think with me. There are churches on every corner, especially in the inner city, every corner. And there's Planned Parenthoods in those same communities. Yet when a young girl gets pregnant, or a woman has an unwanted pregnancy, the first place their mind is bent to go to, their first place of solution, the moment they find themselves in this situation of an unwanted pregnancy, an unplanned pregnancy, the first place for a solution is an abortion center. Or the person that would give a plan for what they should do is Planned Parenthood. Why wouldn't it be the first place, since they're all on every corner, that the person thinks to go to is the church? Could it be that the church, instead of having all these women's conferences and tea parties and different women's conferences on who's wearing this and who's speaking there and how many you got and what color t-shirt we're going to wear and what our colors are going to be, that a group of God-fearing women are known? Just like when you think of an actor who lived a clean moral life, you think of Cicely Tyson without a thought. She represented and modeled that. Why are we not somehow modeled as the place of refuge, the go-to place when any person finds themselves in any type of crisis, unwanted, pregnant, they've been raped, whatever the situation is, that go to the church? What is it that's going on perhaps in the church that we've not modeled? We're the go-to people. We have things in place already. We have a group of Titus 2 mothers that will take you in their home, or with the church has purchased properties where we have places where young girls can go, whether they're trapped in human trafficking and it's a safe house for them, or they're trying to figure out what they're going to do about this pregnancy that was unplanned. There is a place, and we are a loving, warming, embracing people that will get in the trenches with you and push up our sleeves with you and walk you through this. And mothers and women's groups will adopt you and help you walk through this while you're deciding, while you're walking through this. And you know what, Ashton, that is a good place to shoot our commercial right there. We want to be that imagery, that place, that go-to place. We want to change the way of thinking. That this other organization is not the place to go to only. This is not the only solution. This is not the only alternative. This is not the only view. There's another place you can go to. There's another frame of thinking. Let's show the commercial, and then I'm going to show you, when you see these startling statistics of how much money they get and how we have bent ourselves to thinking that overturning Roe versus Wade is going to be the answer to the problem. Boy, wait till I expose these statistics. Can we go to the video now, Ashton? Give me a thumbs up if we can. The center, pregnancy center. Does he just have so? Okay, should have both of those guys. I'm teaching on Raw when they think of having both. Okay, so we'll continue until they can pull it together, okay? We'll have it later, but let me give you some statistics. Here we go. The common way of thinking is for near 49 to 50 years, since 1973 even, Roe versus Wade, we've been trying to put a lot of focus on that and get that done. So look at these statistics. 12 justices have been appointed, Republican conservative justices. Still, Roe versus Wade has not been overturned in these last 49 to 50 years. The Democrats has 4 justices. Now watch this. In 1992, when there was an 8-1 majority, it was Byron White who voted, which was a Democrat, that voted against abortion. So what I believe that God is showing us is that you can't rest on a political party, and you can't depend solely, don't depend only on a person in the White House that's of a particular party to model and to exemplify what I want done in the earth. That responsibility of morality is given to the church. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't pray for a godly president. I didn't say that, but we're not depending. We're not abdicating our role. We're not giving that responsibility to political parties, because the responsibility to model this in the trenches is given to us. The same thing Eve did and Adam, they abdicated their role in the garden. We got to stop abdicating our role. And I'll go a little bit deep and show you, even throughout the courses of different presidential administrations, what the numbers actually show concerning how many abortions are done under those different administrations. It goes like this. It's like a yo-yo. God is saying, you're going to be up and down. But what's constant and what's stable? My people who are called by my name, if we would just get out there and do what God told us to do, if we were witnessing, if we were in the lives of people, or we were out there loving people, reaching people, shaping the community, being visible in the community, the go-to place, guess what? We would be impacting and influencing those 7 or how many ever mountains there are, and not depending on the government to be the one to do it. Let me give you some other things that are startling. So as a result of us abdicating our role, the go-to people that most people have gone to, and I want to also state this, let me give you this particular go-to organization. Let me show you what they are. They just happen to be the largest single provider of reproductive health services. How'd you go from we are a place when unplanned pregnancies to the largest single provider of reproductive health services, including not just abortion in in the United States? Look at this. In their 2014 annual report, they reported seeing over 2.5 million patients in over 4 million clinics. and 4 million clinic visits, and performing a total of nearly 9.5 million discrete services, including 324,000 abortions. Is combined as an annual revenue of 1.3 billion, including approximately 530 million in government's funding, Medicaid reimbursement, Let's go here. Look at this. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Give me a moment. Well, if you're getting that kind of money, 1.3 billion, they're going to keep propagating, and they're going to have curriculum, and they're going to keep being visible, and they're going to keep being in the schools. Look at where they are, all in the schools, and all coupled up with pastors, and all in the community, all visible and all seen, and all getting funding. One of the reports that I read, that their increased support, their funding has gone up 13%. 13% of $1.3 billion. They're going up. You think they're just going to roll over and just go away? You think they're going to just go away by marching in front of them with some banners? Are you kidding me? With the kind of money that's being made? We're not saying there is no darkness. There is no darkness. We're taking the approach of God. Let there be light. So instead of focusing on Roe versus Wade, and instead of focusing on marching in front of abortion clinics, can we use some common sense and some biblical wisdom and say, let's do it the Bible way? What is the Bible way? Let your light shine. Let your love be seen. Let your light shine. Let your love be seen. When I was confused, you gave me counsel. When I found myself in a situation, you were the solution. Let's be the solution instead of talking about the solution, which brings me to where we are. I believe we can change culture. I believe we can change the picture of what the church looks like to this generation. Because lately, for the last few years, maybe we haven't given the kind of picture and model of the church being more relevant, and the church being in the community more, and the church being more active in every arena, be it persons questioning their sexuality, to a girl deciding about an unwanted pregnancy, to situations of injustice. What do we look like? Remember, I told you this strong conviction came after January the 6th, even more than ever before, watching that whole siege on the Capitol. And I was like, wow, what are we modeling? What are the children seeing? What are we showing them? And all I'm saying in essence is that we've got to show another picture, and we've got to model another picture. And this picture needs to look like Jesus. So instead of talking about it, a group of us, no matter what, men and women, have come together. It's just like I felt, what do you have in your hand? Like he said to Moses, what do you have in your hand? Well, we got this 10,000 square foot facility on the lake that was once a training center for Global Leadership Training Center with 34 beds. Well, guess what we're going to do? Turn it into a teen pregnancy center, because we don't have a right to say we're pro-life without being pro-solution. Let's show the video.
Hi, Pastor. If there's ever been a time that I shared something from the bottom of my heart, it's now. To be very honest, my intense motivation has come as a result of what we just saw happen a few days ago. By the time you see this, actually January 6th, I was concerned about what this emerging generation of future leaders, especially inner city millennials, what are they thinking? What are they seeing? What are we showing them? There's so many narratives. There's Black Lives Matters, there's Antifa, there's the Proud Boys, there's QAnon, and there's just so many. And a lot of the inner city is the Black Israelites, and they are searching and a lot confused. And I really believe, Pastor, that we've come upon a time where talking is not enough, that we have to demonstrate a gospel of what's a true Christ, because many of them are hung up on the thing of the images of Jesus as a white man with blue eyes and blonde hair, and if they lied about that, that they lied about this. This is the world I live in. I'm there where they are. And I've been endeavoring to be on the front line and hold up the bloodstained banner and not lose this generation. And I decree it won't be the last Christian generation. But they have a lot of questions, and questions that we need to answer with demonstration. For an example, they don't understand how you can be pro-life and not have a solution for that young girl, and I felt that, who's pregnant but doesn't know what to do with the baby. Can she come and stay home with you? Can you help her? And then things like, do we just care about the baby when it's in the belly and not about the baby when it comes out with its health care, its education, all those type of things. And so we have already been working with and taking care of and helping 19 girls who were rescued out of human trafficking. They got impregnated by their trafficker or by their John, their client, and they decided not to abort their babies. And so we had to be there for them and their babies. And I realize now like never before. Yesterday I spent my day on Skid Row, and I'm going back to Skid Row again today. Why? Because I must, we must, you must, we all must demonstrate, model a picture of what the kingdom looks like, or what the body looks like, because a lot of things have been paintbrushed through the media of what's supposed to be Christian, or a picture of the kingdom, or a picture of Christ, church. A lot of them are disgruntled from church. They grew up in church. They don't want to have anything to do with church. And so what I've realized is the conviction and the challenge had to be taken to another level. We have a property that we've acquired and we used it as a training center, for Global Leadership Training Center for 15 years, scholarshiping students from over 100 nations, training them as missionaries and deploying them to the field. We're taking that 34-bed facility and turning it into a teen pregnancy center. Yes, I said it. Because 43% of every abortion in America is a young girl of color. For African Americans, our death rate has exceeded our birth rate. So how can I be pro-life? They're right. How can I be pro-life and anti-abortion and not offer a type of solution? I can't change the whole world, but I can change my world, our world. And so we're taking the girls, not only teaching them life skills, but if I go get grants and stuff, I can't preach Jesus. I don't want that. I want a biblically based curriculum and program, which is what we've done and I've done for 41 years with youth and young adults, not just here in the United States, but around the world. So I'm asking you to help me. We got the facility. There's some things that need to be done. You'll see the pictures, some structural things, some erosion, some foundational things. It's not anything real major, but I'm ready to hit the ground. Why am I so determined to move fast? Because I believe that during the period of time when there's no response, when they're asking questions, like from what they've seen happening around the election, happening around 2020, happening around George Floyd, happening around, it's like a line in the middle. They don't want to align themselves with something that they think will not address justice, but they don't want to compromise the morality of not believing. They don't want to believe in the same sex and the abortion and being in the wrong position concerning Israel, but then they don't want to compromise justice. So I believe we have to raise up future leaders. What we're going to do with the house is we're going to turn it into 3 segments. It has 34 beds and rotate. For a segment of time, we will be taking in young girls that are teen pregnant girls, that we're giving them an alternative. You don't have to abort that baby. That baby has a life. That baby has a purpose. And then girls that have been rescued out of trafficking that just need a place to stay till we can transition them into a permanent place so that they and the baby are in a safe place. And then lastly, PK kids and inner city kids and kids that grew up in church that are questioning their sexuality and just struggling with the call of God and their identity, a place for them as well. And I'm asking you to help me. And I'm determined that it's time now to demonstrate this gospel that we believe. Words are not enough now. We have to model it and use words only when we have to. I'll be reaching out to you, and I can't wait to show you what all we've done in 2020 with the little help that we have. And I'm just hoping I can depend on you to help me.
Well, it's time to put our action, our compassion where our mouth is. If we lose this moment, if we lose this window of time of having a solution to turn culture around, how did we get like this? Views of morality and value and family and community. We were not like this. No matter how tough things got, the solution wasn't to just immediately not think about another way, not think about another solution. So there needs to be a feeling that there's an auntie and a mama and a uncle and a daddy and a surrogate around that will help you get through this. And your final decision is up to you. It's totally up to you. Nobody's trying to brainwash you, but at least we want to extend another view so that this particular view is not the only view, because they're getting paid. Now, remember, for those of you that just hopped on for the first time, you need to go back and watch the other videos, because we exposed the big lie of what Margaret Sanger openly said is her, it was originally called the Birth Control, this organization wasn't originally called Planned Parenthood. And she had what was called in 1990, 1920, 21, the Negro Project, to exterminate us as a people, to depopulate us as a people, and to say that we are weeds growing in an American garden of American civilization, and that we should have never been born, and that we can't take care of ourselves. So how do we go from a woman that's openly proclaiming this kind of thing and what they call eugenists, who believe in human breeding of a particular clan and class of people openly, to being the person that supports the major of our African-American politicians? They're all in our community. How you going to be all active in our community when we know your original mission statement and your original plan was to get rid of us? And you said, if you put this in motion years down the road, they'll kill each other. So now 43% of every abortion is us. So we're going to just keep talking about it. For you intercessors, we're going to just keep praying about it only. Are we going to couple our faith with action? Because faith without works is dead. Show me your faith. Let me show you my faith by my actions. James says in 2 verse 14, if I see someone destitute, hungry, without clothing, and you say you have faith, what good is that? Because faith without works is dead. So I want you, there are women that are watching. Some of you were teen pregnant mothers. Have you forgotten what that felt like? Some of you had an unwanted pregnancy. Have you forgotten that? Well, here's your opportunity. And some of you chose to keep the baby. And look how beautiful that child is. And aren't you so glad? Well, all we start trying to do is say, well, the young girls are trying to decide, let's be there for them. And not just with those that are facing a pregnancy, but for the homeless, for those orphans that are there in South Africa, and for the widows that are there, and for the needy, and for the hurting, and for the disenfranchised. Let's be the light. That's what Sisters Empowering the World, our focus, this particular Sow in March, is going to be all about logistics and strategies, not talking about them, but we're appointing people, women coming to the round table, to a conclave, to a summit, saying, I can do this and I have this. That's what women are doing now. Today, as I speak, there are women driving on the road right now, driving from Charlotte, North Carolina, driving from Raleigh, driving from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Last weekend, we had Tony and her family, grandma, and niece and auntie drove from Alabama and did the painting of the dining room and the hallway, and helped change out some of the lighting. And then a couple of days ago, Carolyn Kelly came and says, my husband, he knows how to do this. We're going to change out all your toilets. How many toilets do we have? I think we got 5 or 6 toilets here. We're going to change them out. And for those of you watching and saying, I got your sheets, I got your pillowcases, I got your towels, I got your bedding. The babies, we need baby cribs and baby mattresses and Pampers. And so, because we started with 0 with a goose egg. But you know what? I'm not waiting for any type of a grant. I'm not waiting for a politician to endorse me. I'm not waiting. Where we are, what we're facing, we have waited long enough. We're not waiting on God. God's waiting on us. God's waiting on us. And if we don't start showing this generation a better picture than what we've shown them, we leave them to go another way, to choose another path, because we're supposed to show the way. We're supposed to show the way, not just in all of this talking and preaching, but in demonstration. So it's going to be March the 4th. I believe that we can literally turn things around where, can I just say this one other part? Do you realize how stupid it is to embrace an organization and the mission statement and the philosophy and the vision statement and the strategy and the objective of that organization to make a people extinct, to get rid of them? They're a menace. And we embrace that organization as the solution to our community. And they represent the health, like health services to our girls. Well, you already told us you don't care about us. So that would be like Esther embracing Haman when Haman says, I'm here to wipe you out. And Esther says, she had a banquet, all right. She welcomed him all right, but the banquet was all to behead him and to get rid of him, you know? So that would have been her like saying, Mordecai, I don't want to get involved with this. This is too political, Mordecai. I don't want to get involved with this. And she sides with Haman. And Mordecai said, if you choose to keep silent, if you choose to sit there with your happy self and pretend and forget where you came from and choose to do nothing, salvation will still come. It's just that God will allow salvation to come from someone else. But how do you not know how do you not know, you who walked through your teen pregnancy or your unwanted pregnancy, and God was there for you? They just need to know that God is there for them, whichever path they take. And some don't have an auntie's voice or a mama's voice or a sister's voice to tell them this is your 5th abortion. You're using it as birth control. We don't have a right to talk about it unless we're willing to put up. So we're here at the Teen Pregnancy Center Sunday. We'll be in front of City Hall, being the change we want to see. My friend McFarlane yesterday, she said, Doc, we need to mobilize. What can we do? I said, look, I have a strategy, and we can come together and we can be the change we want to see. And we don't have to stop right here in Atlanta, Georgia. We can have these centers all over America. There can be women that have, you know what, I got a rental property, and there may be someone with rental properties in other places and say, you know what, a group of women coming together and say, how much you want a month for rent? I got 5 on it. I got 10 on it. I got 100 on it. I got 75 on it. And then let's turn that place into a center. And then on the weekends, model, on the weekends, we're showing the home, we're feeding the homeless, clothing. I mean, every weekend we're going to be demonstrating the gospel, not talking, demonstrating, not talking, demonstrating, so that the young generation can see. This is what the kingdom looks like. And I want you on my team. I want us to come together. It's not about whose name is on it. Forget the name. Let's care about the baby. Let's care about the babies. And I'm so done with people caring about the baby in the womb, but not caring about the baby on the other side of the womb. And I'm so done with watching images of people marching in front of abortion centers and people spending all this money and all this time on Roe versus Wade when it hasn't even proven in 49, nearly 50 years to be overturned. And did you know that there were states that had legalized abortion before Roe versus Wade? So Roe versus Wade is not a solution. The Bible is. Also, too, we have a soul commercial ready. Brandy, you all give me a thumbs up. We're talking about what are we doing about it? We have a conclave of women coming together that are on top of their game in the foster system. You wait till I segue and talk about and expose what's going on in foster care. Man, once again, we've abdicated our role. Orphans, fatherless, the tithe. The institution of the tithe in Deuteronomy 26, 11 and 12, one of the institutions of the tithe, the purpose was for the fatherless, for the widows also, not just for the upkeep of the temple and the Levite. Again, we've abdicated our role. We're bringing women together and exposing what's going on in that foster system. Oh my God, it's even more heartbreaking than the craziness with this organization. And the church just keep beating on the tambourines and speaking in tongues and having conferences like we're not supposed to get involved. We're not supposed to get involved. Do you realize in 41 years in 147 countries, almost every initiative that we led in the 1041, be it South Sudan, be it in Algeria, on the Syria-Turkey border, be it child brides, every last one of those issues and initiatives were political issues. When I started out going into Uganda, when refugees were fled into Kenya and going into Uganda, right at the end of the regime of Idi Amin, thousands of people slaughtered, hundreds of thousands. When we go into South Sudan, smuggling Bibles and bringing the gospel in Islamic regions that's punishable by death 30 something, 40 years ago. That was a political situation. Child brides in Malawi, where the government was allowing it, and working with Teresa Kachitamoto saying, I'm nullifying these marriages. That was against the government's rule. That was a political situation. I mean, everything on the Syria border where refugees are coming across and needing a place of refuge. I mean, almost every initiative that we've responded to has been a political issue. But we're called to be the solution. I said we're called to be the solution. Man, I can't wait till we meet. Some of you are going to come. Some of you are going to be online. We are pushing up our sleeves and say, I see what they're teaching, and I see this agenda, and I see them pushing this, and I'm not going to sit quiet, and I'm not going to be taking a picket sign and protesting. That's over. I'm not doing that. We're going to be proactive. Push our curriculum that's Bible-based. Love every person. Be there to hear them. Be there to listen and have a place that they can come to. I can't tell you how many people I've taken into my home, young people, and sat down and helped them walk through when they're questioning their identity. We got to be the change we want to see. Let's do the soul commercial.
Hi, ladies. It's that time of the year again and need your help like never before. This sow is going to prove to be even more intense than the one last year. We're bringing women together that are affecting and transforming their community and their world. Our focus this year is being very aware on how our children are being indoctrinated from a perspective of education, what they're being taught. We're going to have extreme, incredible educators who are literally transforming curriculums and how our children are being taught and teaching us what to be aware of. But then also strong women that are very on the cutting edge concerning the foster system and a lot of our children that are completely displaced. I believe that with some of the things that we've just seen recently, to be very honest with what just happened on January the 6th, a lot of young children and young people are really, really confused. And we haven't really shown them the picture of leadership, the picture of accountability, the picture of kingdom, the picture of compassion that they deserve to see. So as we come together as sisters empowering the world, boy, do we have strategies and hit the ground strategies, like literally to work things through and timelines like never before, because it's a time that we can't talk about this anymore. It's time to move, and it's time to move now. We have global leaders coming together from around the world, and again, it'll be another think tank, it'll be another round table, and there's a seat at the table for you. Times have changed. We're in a new year now. We're facing so many things, and if there's ever been a time for sisters to empower their world and to be in a position like a modern day Deborah, a modern day Esther, or even a modern day Rahab to affect change and literally be the change we want to see, is now. And we can't wait. You can't afford to miss this moment. Get your place now. We literally have knocked off $100 for those for the early bird registration. You can put $25 down and just hold your place. I'm telling you, I'm bringing you the very best of the best in their field. So let's get ready. God bless you, and I can't wait to see you at the table.
Well, ladies, we're so excited about that. It's going to be very incredible. We will be dealing with finances. We will be dealing with things concerning. We want to transform culture. That's March the 4th through the 7th, is it? We want to change culture, transform mindsets, aggressive strategies, sitting and flushing through logistics, having a team here, a team in New York, a team Atlanta, New York, DC, Chicago, wherever you are, you're like, look, I want to be a part of a presence, being a presence, a modeling a presence, demonstrating a presence, the same way people come together. You know, Margaret Sanger sat down and strategized a plan that would work 100 years down, and it worked. Mary Kay, the woman with the cosmetic, Mary Kay Asher, put something together concerning cosmetics that she's been dead since 2000, whatever, 1, 2, 3, whatever. And I just looked at a pink Mary Kay Cadillac yesterday. It's still going. The woman that took prayer out of school, Mary Magdalene O'Hara, put something together that went way beyond her time. So what I'm trying to get you to see is all it takes is one woman, one person that says, I want to make a difference. and not a woman that's looking to have a big ministry. And I want to have so many people following me and liking me. And I want to be platformed with these kind of people. I want to have a big ministry. But women that are saying, I want to make a big impact. I want to make a significant change. I'm not trying to make a name for myself. I'm not trying to be platformed. I'm okay with my audience being the people who seemingly have nothing to give back to me. I want my life to count. I want my life to count. I don't want to sit back and be a lazy Christian, a slowful Christian, a church-going Christian only that just makes it into heaven themselves. I want to be a game changer. I want to impact lives. I want to transform culture. I want to be a catalyst that brings a culture and a people and a generation back to God. I want to be a modern day Esther, a modern day Deborah, a modern day Rahab. I want to be a modern day vessel, a modern day Hannah that God uses to change the times and say, we're not going to keep going this direction. We're not going to fall off this cliff. We see where this is going. You are trying to get us to accept evil is right. You want us to teach it to our children? You're trying to get us to teach perversion as normalized. We're not doing that. We embrace the Bible. So the 2 new children's books, Ashton, if you can put up the new children's book, here's the image, right, Brandy? One of the, there's so many different things. One of the things that they're really pushing, guys, I wrote this over the holiday, had so much fun writing 2 new children's books over the holiday, and they're pushing like an anti-government, an anti-authority, anti-patriotism. And I think one of the things that has caused this generation to be, they've seen a lot of hypocrisy and a lot of injustice. So there's a lot of focus. And remember, I told you that if you go check out, some of your parents are not checking out the type of history, American history has been taught now. It will blow your mind what's being taught as American history today. Like America never did anything right, ever, ever. And that nobody had anything to do with American history but white people. It's not true. This revolution and us as a nation of freedom was not just one ethnicity of people. There were African Americans, and you wait till I teach your children this and I start exposing men like Peter Salem. I mean, there's so many. I'm not going to go into that now because I could just go off. It's incredible. I'm like, they didn't teach us this in the history books. That we did this, we did this, we did this, we did this. We were there. We were the reason why this battle was won on Bunker Hill. We were the ones that won this. We were the strategists behind it. We were the first modern type of special servants, like a type of Navy SEAL Delta Force, was a Black man. Never told us this. Why has no one told us this? And that Latinos as well played a huge part in First Nation, the Native American, we said the First Nation, they were equally. So it was all different parts making up one, we the people. So if our children start seeing, wait, we're not going and tearing down statues. We need to build some statues. We need to show that there are other people that were involved and not just one people. And everything in America wasn't all bad. There were a group of people that did not have slaves, that did not steal the land from Indians. There are some people that did it right. We're going to teach the wrong. This was evil. Slavery was evil. Injustice, imperialistic thinking was evil. What was the difference between separatists and Puritans? We're going to teach that. They're going to know that. And they're going to know the Black patriots that did phenomenal things to help us get our freedom and establish a nation. So instead of being anti-government and anti-American, they can have a national pride to say, I have a part. We all make up this nation. And so instead of just talking about it, Pat Bailey, we wrote a book. I'm going to push it out there just like we can come back, Ashton, just like we did. I'm glad God made me a girl, and I'm glad God made me a boy. Also, we did another book over the holiday, which I can't wait for you to see it. This one is dealing with celebrating gender. Get it to your sons and daughters and nieces and nephews and great nieces and nephews and great and great grandchildren. Celebrate. This is who God made you to be. God determined who you are. You don't determine who you are. Whatever God determines is what it's going to be. So those books are all on our website. Gone is the day of the church just talking about it. We're putting out curriculum. We're putting out books. We have strategies. We're modeling and demonstrating in every city. If you want to say, hey, Doc, I want to be one of those on the weekend. Look, I'm going to go hit Skid Row. I'm going to go, look, I'm going to open up my home and get a group of young girls to sit down and just talk to them and find out where they are. I'm going to find out where the teen pregnancy centers are in my city and find out how I can start volunteering. Hey, Doc, what weekend can I come down? Because we got enough beds. We got enough beds for you to come as well and be here with the girls and be a part of this. You can do something. You can do something. This is a call to action. This is not a call to preaching. There's enough out there that's preaching, you know, God bless them. I've done it for 41 years. Now in this second life cycle, the legacy year of my life, the legacy years of my life, I want demonstration and to leave something behind that's tangible that will live and outlive me. So those books are coming out. Don't forget to register for So. Go to Sisters Empowering the World. We know the teachers, the presenters, the strategies, the logistics that we have. It's going to be the greatest investment you made in your life. It'll be better than the money you pay for your wig or your weave or your red top shoes or your Louis Vuitton or your Gucci bag. It'll be more powerful than what you paid, your mortgage, your car payment. It's going to yield more than anything that we've invested money in that's going to pass away. What you invest in and the knowledge that you get at Sisters Empowering the World. And here's the powerful thing. Your proceeds are going to go to the Teen Pregnancy Center. So you're going to help rescue life while getting informed and trained at the same time. And we have some special gifts for those who are registered. Listen to this. You don't want to miss this. Hear me clearly, for the first 50 women that register, I'm going to do this for 2 weeks only. The first 50 women that register get Global Leadership Training Center, a $3,000 online biblical worldview training. You get absolutely free. So you're going to get a $3,000 online training, a 6-month course, by simply saying, I'm with you, I'm signing up, I'm coming through, I want to be a part of a woman that's making a change. You get it absolutely free, but you must register immediately. And guess all it takes to register? $25 down. Go to the website, pay your $25, get in touch with Cecile, email us, tell us you registered right now. Some of you getting paid today. Put your little $25 down. You're throwing $25 away in food over the weekend. You're going to just keep being one of those women that do nothing but just talk? Come on. We need you on our team. And then that biblical worldview training that I will be teaching you along with 67 different courses. That's $3,000 online training that you get absolutely free. Once you go through that, you'll never be able to be one that just sit and satisfied with going from conference to conference to conference. When I went to Bible college, my first Bible college, New Life Bible College, I chose a college. I could have gone to Rhema. I could have gone to Oral Roberts, Christ for the Nations. There's many I could have gone. And I chose New Life Bible College because Norval Hayes taught us practical theology. My first doctorate that I ever got under Archbishop Vincent Idahosa in the 90s, practical theology. In other words, let's make the gospel relevant. I never felt like I was to be trapped in the four walls of a church, but to, after the benediction, get out there where the greatest needs are, in the trenches where he needs me the most. And I believe that there's some other women that share that same kind of heart. Let's link up together. And I can't wait to hear from you today. I want you to call me today. You're going to call me at 336-782-1228. Call me, leave a message. I'm calling you right back. It's a cell phone. I'll call you right back. Also, you can text me and push yes, gives me permission to keep sending you information. 310-347-4524. I know I'm talking to women that have always wanted to do something in this arena concerning teen pregnancy, concerning helping young girls, concerning they can't keep continuing to make bad decisions and bad relationships and having another child and a child not having a father there. No, we can do something about this. And then you can always call the office. Pam's going to get your message to me, 336-917-2630. And you can always direct message me right there on Facebook. Share this video, share this video, share this video, share this video, or we'll sit back and say, we missed a window. That was a window of pivot. Let's not miss it. I think I've covered everything. So don't forget to go to the website to get the books. And Saturday, any of you in the Atlanta area want to see you with me right there in front of City Hall. Not protesting, but demonstrating the love of God. So next time, it's Dr. Pat. We got a team coming in today. Boy, we may go live and let you see some of the updates at the Teen Pregnancy Center. It's phenomenal of what has happened in 2 weeks' time. We start replacing windows. Actually, the contractor is coming on Sunday because Saturday is raining, so he'll be putting windows in. And it was one of those huge window sills that had rotted out where water was going down into the basement. And contractors have did the gas lines for the stoves that we needed gas. So I mean, it's just been a phenomenal time. Contractors after contractors, and every single day God has been helping us. You may be watching and say, hey, I'd like to make a contribution to the Teen Pregnancy Center. You can go right to the website, his donate, and right there in the comments says for the Teen Pregnancy Center. And for those of you women that were once a teen mother or has a niece or nephew and have always wanted to do something in this arena, oh, I so need you more than you could ever know. And let's transform culture together. Till next time, this is Dr. Pat, and this is all we got. See you perhaps tomorrow.